Your classes are done for today. Your work is done for today. Basically, your main quest for today is finished. Your commute is your loading screen. You wait for a bus, drive a car, ride a bicycle or motorcycle, or simply walk. All you think about is, I can't wait to come home and play games. You sit at your desk and stare at the 5 games you have installed. You see an online game that is bound to cause an inevitable circle of self-hatred. That one game with great gameplay but boring side content. That one game that you play for 2 hours and then forget about for a couple of months. That one game you always tell yourself you will start, but never do. Before you fall asleep on me, this is where I come into play to save the day. I decided to start the series to recommend games that I believe are very well-rounded. Well, not as rounded as this big fella dry humping my ass like there's no tomorrow. I bet my drifty DualSense sticks you've had these thoughts before. This game is great, but I feel that something is somehow missing. But I'll show you something cool today. Enter Ninja Warrior the game, Tokyo Revengers the game, Just Dance High School Edition, Fight Night Ground Zero, Transformers X Catan, Pokemon Snap, Super Seducer, The Elder Scrolls Oblivion, and Skate 4? In case you've been wondering, yes, this is all part of the same game. Lost Judgment is the second game in Yakuza's spin-off series called Judgment. If you've played some of the Yakuza games before, this time around you're not playing a Yakuza, but instead an attorney turned private detective. I will try my best to avoid spoiling the story, and I also wanted to note that you don't really have to play the first game to understand what the hell is going on here. Sure, they're recurring characters, but the ones vital to the story are the newly introduced ones. It being a sequel should not push you away. The core gameplay loop is quite simple. You run around the city and beat up bad guys in a Jackie Chan fashion. Fighting can be done in 3 different styles: Crane, Tiger, and Snake. Crane style uses that fucking Karate Kid bullshit kick, and it's good to fight against multiple enemies, while Tiger and Snake are good against single opponents, with Snake style being more focused on mimicking Kung Fu and parrying. I'm sorry, I still have to go back and show this Karate Kid kick. It's so stupid, it looks so dumb, and it doesn't do shit. Just look at this. Special moves are explosive and badass, and you're able to jump over enemies and, like, bounce off the walls, I guess? Smash after smash after smash after smash. You can even use a skateboard to beat enemies. It's kind of ridiculous, but at the same time, it's badass. Our protagonist Takayuki Yagami becomes a school counselor, which helps him engage in different club activities. And trust me when I say this is where the game shines. I always complain about side content in semi or fully open world games where you just, like, talk to someone, collect something, or defeat someone. This is a fully priced game with many games that could easily become the core mechanics of 10 other games. You got boxing, dancing, robotics, photography, skating, racing, swimming, and the list goes on and on. The detective side missions aren't exactly as goofy as Yakuza 0, for example, where you had this Michael Jackson lookalike called Miracle Johnson with his producer, I forgot his name, but I'll call him Even Steelberg. Or the one with Mr. Libido. Yes, that's a thing. These missions will have you sneak and follow, take down, use your drones for different purposes, or have your super cute dog follow scents and lead you to the culprits. Also, you have a noise amp and detector. There is an app on your phone where you can find all the single mamas in a 10-mile radius. The robotics game is super cool. It's like chess meets Tetris meets Total Destruction. You can upgrade the robots on your team and even install AI chips that make them either super aggressive or super defensive. I won't really go into detail about other minigames because I believe that this is something that needs to be experienced, so I don't want to spoil the fun for you. And all of this side content, including school clubs, is so well balanced in my opinion, in a way that kind of prevents you from doing everything all at once, but instead you'll reach some blocking points for some of them until you progress the story. I usually want to complete everything I can at the moment, and I end up feeling burnt out after doing so. That's why I think carefully scattering side content across different chapters of the game is a great move. And if you do manage to complete all school clubs, they converge into something bigger and more serious. The bad stuff isn't necessarily too bad, but if I had to nitpick things, I would say there's some things that I didn't necessarily love. Sometimes the detective mode, in which you're inspecting a place for clues, can misbehave and not trigger an investigation complete prompt until you check the clues in some predetermined order. I found that kind of distracting. Tailing missions sometimes take too long and can be repetitive. Also, the stealth stuff kinda defies logic because you're able to take on 20 guys in a fight at once, but you can't fight off one policeman that caught you sneaking. That doesn't make any sense. Hell, if all policemen were like this, then there would be no Yakuza and no crime in Japan for sure. On the other hand, this game puts Hitman games to shame. Just look at it. You can sneak, you can steal clothes, and then nobody notices somehow. Takedown. Bam. Back to the good stuff. Y'all ever wanted to play a female character in an action game? Alright, you got me. It's not a really new concept, I know. But check this out. Which game lets you fucking do makeup, hair, and clothes like it's goddamn Sims? Not only that, but you get to be a badass flirt and go undercover. You can date girls and beat them at darts. You can use your drone to chase people. Or you could join a freaking super exclusive ninja club with extremely high requirements. Oh, never mind. These ninjas are hyper-focused and they dedicate their whole lives to the craft. But somehow, they still get defeated easily by boobs. Oh, come on, man. On a more serious note though, the thing I believe sets this game apart is the story. I rarely get as invested into the story of most games I play, but this one had my eyes glued to the screen all the time. It's a story about bullying among peers, the effect it has on the victim and the ones participating, whether it be directly or indirectly. It's about like-minded people becoming enemies, but also putting differences aside to join forces towards a common goal. It talks about self-harm, how it affects everyone around the victim, failures of criminal laws, and gray areas of judicial system. Fuck, I had to retake this one so many times because I kept saying jujitsu system. How governments can be closely tied to bad actors. I love how the game is literally called Lost Judgment. If you think you've already developed a moral compass and judgment, the plot and twists of this game will challenge it for sure. Oftentimes the game shows that both sides, stereotypically good and bad, want justice to be served, although in completely opposite ways. You, along with the protagonist, will find both points of view to be relatable, and will struggle to wholeheartedly commit to either of them. Basically, to wrap things up, Lost Judgment is one of those games that shine in almost every aspect. The graphics are not exactly cutting edge, and the game starts out a bit slow. The stealth segments get old pretty fast, but an amazing story, great gameplay variety, and fun side content more than make up for it. This game will most definitely be discounted on Black Friday, so you should look out for that. And yeah, I forgot to say, thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think about the game based on my impressions, whether you played it, will play it, or why you wouldn't play it. And I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.